Welcome to Nightcap. My name's Nate. You know the deal. We do this Monday through Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Today, of course, I'm going to talk about the Supreme Court nominee. Of course. What the fuck else am I going to talk about? The craziness. By the way, if you don't read my blog, you should, because I feel like somehow I'm a prophet. The shit that I've been writing about, and look, I'm not a writer. I'm a fucking engineer. I do programming. I fucking code shit. I can write. I can build anything in the virtual world that you can think of. But I am not prophetic. I'm not a professional pundit. But if you were to read my blogs, which you should be, you will see that kayfabe blog post, the boogeyman blog post, the fear blog post that talks about the strategy for the midterms. It's all coming true. Someday I'm going to be able to stand on I told you so mountain and say, look, I fucking told you so. Anyway, listen, if this is your first time here, I rant and rave about shit that pisses me off, and today I'm going to be short and sweet. But of course you know what the topic of the day is. The topic du jour is, and that's we got another nominee. Of course, what's different about this nominee? She is a black woman, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And if you were to watch these proceedings, you would understand why there's no other word other than kayfabe or performance theater or, political theater or whatever, because they were talking about shit that means nothing to a Supreme Court justice. When in your fucking life have you run into a situation where you're like, man, I'm really worried about how that Supreme Court justice rules on CRT? What the fuck is CRT? You're probably saying. I know, because you don't fucking care. You're just joining on the bandwagon because everybody else in your party says it sucks, but you don't know. And so guess what? Because that's in the ethos right now, that's going to be the topic they're going to use to generate their commercials for the midterms. Driving me nuts. The reason I'm going to be short tonight is because I had a fantastic day of new experiences, new communities, and I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked. Excuses aside, I mean, what does it take to fucking get on here and rant about the shit that's fucking crazy in the GOP or the Democratic Party? And right now, unfortunately, I spend most of my time ranting about the craziness that's going on the right. I mean, not only did they try to overtake our country through a fucking crazy little riot that they had on January 6th, these motherfuckers elected Donald Trump. So until they ask for my forgiveness or have decided to become a party that's actually serious about solving problems, they're going to be the whipping boy. That's it. They're going to be the fucking whipping boy. And so today, if you're watching these proceedings, which I told you yesterday, I don't fucking watch this shit. Why don't I watch it? Because it's theatrics. This woman is clearly qualified, but they're talking about shit that means nothing. They're not useful to help my assessment of her. By the way, the ABA gave her an approval rating, so that's one of the organizations that actually looks at the quality and the length of their career and the content of the decisions that they ruled on, or whether they fought for if they were an attorney, whatever it is. That's an organization that specializes in keeping its members accountable. And so if the ABA says yes, then a bunch of senators want to ask some questions that are pertinent to the position that she's taking to be on the bench. I'll fucking listen. I'll turn it on. I'll be the first one to turn it on and say, wow, you know what? We're going to find out some things about how this person's going to rule or judge. What you're seeing right now is them injecting the code words or the keywords that they need for their sound bites for the midterm elections. That's it. And if you're a Republican and you're getting all excited about it, I'm telling you, this is for you. These hearings are for you, where you can see, wow, the Democrats are crazy. Even though they're nominating somebody who has better qualifications than probably 4 of the existing 8 judges that are on the panel. I mean, we're talking about high caliber person here. Of course, the color has to get in the way. And so, of course, what do you think the hearings were focused on? This is an other. This person is a they. They're not an us. And so we've got to ask them how they view things in weird perspectives and weird questions because it's an other person. You all fucking trigger. You all act like you're fucking Americans. You act like, you're all about this country. As soon as somebody is different from you, you fucking trip the fuck out. I seen it happen with the transgenders. You're losing your fucking mind because a transgender woman won a swim meet. You didn't give a fuck about swim meets before yesterday, before the 5 days ago. And so the reason, I just can't participate in watching them or giving them the views is because I'm not going to learn anything from these hearings. If you think you're going to learn something about how this person has run their bench or worked their office or how they've handled the law, you're not going to find that from a Senate hearing that's built to get clicks and bites, sound bites, and basically motivate the bases to get them out. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you're triggered by these fucking hearings, you are the fucking problem with this country, because you are the one that they're placating to, and they know how they can manipulate your emotions. For me, that just would drive me nuts to know that somebody's doing things to control me, and I'm really not in control of my own destiny. That would fuck me up. But you get in line and you're like, yeah, look at them. They're talking about this lady's scary. She's scary. I talked to somebody today that was like, yeah, she kind of scares me, her views. What the fuck? The fuck you talking about? You watched a fucking couple hearings where Lindsey Graham fucking shot his load too early and then had to storm out because he looked like a buffoon, and that's where you're coming up with this shit? I know you're a constitutional expert. I know you're an expert in foreign policy because of how you've talked about the Russian-Ukraine war. I also know that you're an expert in women and gender studies because of based on your really articulate way of handling the transgender issues that are going on today. I mean, if you're not picking up the sarcasm, get the fuck off this feed. I swear to God. But I will tell you right now, the pundits are going to talk about this hearing because that's going to get the clicks. And I'm not going to get any clicks not talking about it. I'm talking about it now. But my point is, like, I'm not going to waste my time watching kayfabe. What's kayfabe? You need to fucking check out the blog post on smashingtheparty.com/links. You'll see it. It's actually the top blog post right there, right now. It's on the cover. It explains to you what kayfabe is, and if you're not going to read it, I'll tell you what it is. It's performance theater. It's the secrecy surrounding performance theater that deals with professional wrestling. And you're like, dude, I watched you yesterday. I watched the day before. You keep on talking about it. Guess why I keep on talking about it? Because we're looking at these people, performance arts. They're doing this performance arts, and we're losing out. You are getting on your team and saying they're stupid. They're getting on their team saying you're stupid. Nothing's happening. But guess what? Ted Cruz gets up there and pulls out a baby book about racists, asks if babies are racist. I mean, for Christ's sake, these questions couldn't be asked at a job interview. Lindsey Graham, what's your religion? Okay, Protestant. Do you believe would you rule differently for Catholics? I mean, all kinds of crazy shit. What scares me about this is that when a Republican elects one of their judges, apparently this is the metric. They have to categorize everybody. They have to put people in categorizes and check their religion, check where they're born, their place of origin. This seems to be the important thing that comes out from these hearings, is that Republicans only care about people that look like them. And if you're white and you're saying, Nate, you're playing the race card, I'm telling you right now, this is not deep analysis. This is like 10 minutes worth of clips that I watched. And you're saying, well, you didn't get the whole picture. What the fuck? Do I need the whole picture? What do I need to know that they're going to ask that's going to be so important, that's going to change my mind and make me write my senator or call my senator and say, Ketanji Brown, I actually looked it up and tried to pronounce it, Jackson is not qualified based on this one fucking answer? Come on. It's so fucking frustrating. So, I'm going through today. By the way, I got a lot of positive feedback on doing the all the outside the bar / kind of in the alleyway of Market Street live, and I want to do more of that, and I think you're going to see more of that once I get off my ass and get out of my office, which is going to happen because I got a new job, I got a new place, I got a location, I got a fucking podcast studio, access, all this shit. Plus, I've got all these new communities that I'm joining that's going to help to kind of get this thing out. But the point I'm making is that don't waste your time watching these hearings. Don't give them the clicks. They should maybe take them back into the back room again and then actually do some real stuff, because as soon as you turn on that camera, these people kind of shuck and jive to make sure that they're getting that sound bite or they're, and I get it. Both sides do it. But I will say there is no fucking way that you're going to see those questions about race come from the Democratic Party, because that's not their base. Those questions come from the fact that they're trying to build commercials for the midterms. And so a Democratic base wouldn't look too kindly on them asking the kind of questions Republicans were asking, because it wouldn't work in a commercial. Democrats, when they get up on deck, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to build their commercials. And I'm not saying it's okay, but I will say that one party seems to be focused on racism and the race and the origin and the gender of everybody, and making sure that the government kind of evens that out or controls it or makes sure no one's too radical. And the other party's saying, you know what, fuck it. Let's help people thrive. Let's get them the health care. Let's get them the mental health care they need and go from there. It's not the same. And you're probably sitting here all frustrated and say, you know, Nate, look, that's not how all Republicans are. I agree. I'm looking for the real Republicans, the ones that will stand out and say, you know what? His dick's no longer going to swing in my face because he's got no fucking clothes on. Or, you know what? Fuck you, because transgender people have a struggle that you have no idea or concept or even have a way of putting it into words. And so I'm not down with that kind of shit. I need those type of Republicans. I'm not saying you have to be all about Medicare for all or even lean, you know, be a pacifist and be anti-war. Go be your hawk. Go be a fucking douchebag and want to kill people as a pro-life person. That's fine. Pro-life, pro-war makes sense to me, right? If you can tell I'm a little fucking pissed off, it's because watching white people fucking question this person or try to educate them on race, a person with better credentials than I'll ever dream of having, I related to that. I felt that sting. I felt the sting of my colleagues, my friends suggesting that, you know what, it's bigotry, Nate. Calm the fuck down. It's not racism. It's different. Two different things. Calm the fuck down. I did that. I did that fucking shit for 4 years. I woke up to a nightmare and watched my friends tell me that I don't even know what racism is. I watched my friends tell me that there's no such thing as systemic racism. I watched my friends tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, even though I've lived in this skin my whole life. And then I get to watch a female black woman who has climbed the ladder, probably fought through shit that you wouldn't last 5 seconds in. We saw the other nominee that they nominated cry and talk about beer. Can you imagine if a black woman got it as a nominee, started crying or started talking about how much she loved beer? How you think that would go? Fuck it. Republicans slap him on the ass and push him right up. No fucking critical thinking, no thought. Hey, this guy doesn't seem all that sharp. No big deal. He's on the fucking Supreme Court now. And then we get a qualified nominee like this, and we watch people like Ted Cruz, who's not an idiot, code switch into his fucking white former self and begin to question this person as if she's on the fucking, as if she's on some kind of a inquisition about her identity and whether or not her identity is going to affect her rulings. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you think that these people only rule a certain way. And that's why Donald Trump would say, hey, look at that person back there in that back office issue. They're a Democrat. Get rid of them. It's an us versus they. And your fucking dumbass falls for it. They're literally laying the playbook for your dumbass to fucking get all riled up about CRT. I posted something on my Facebook page about the fact that one of the proponents of this anti-CRT messaging suggested that all they need to do is every time they see a ridiculous article about race is attach it to CRT. What do you think they're doing right now in the Senate? They're just trying to be ridiculous about it. So CRT is in the fucking ether, and then your dumb ass will say, you know what? Wow, that seems scary. You can't even define it. You probably don't even know what the fucking initials are. And they're CRT, motherfucker. I mean, as an African American, and I do identify as an African American, truly an African American, parents born in Nigeria, dad born in Nigeria. My mom's American. I watched this shit happen, and I'm just incredulous because it's just kind of overt. They're no longer hiding it anymore. It used to be kind of a stealth operation where they would say, kind of, we had this term called dog whistling, where it was like, they're saying a racist thing, but it's not quite clear. But those that can hear it, like a dog whistle, that high-pitched sound, they're my base, and those folks hear it. So guess what? It's a dog whistle. It's like, and guess what? Only the people that are listening for it hear it. That's why it's called a dog whistle. Now they're just like megaphone in hand and blasting it out. No fucks given. We're supposed to be okay. We're just kind of supposed to accept this as the new Republican Party. It drives me nuts. So, when I got on tonight, I'm thinking like, I guess this is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to kind of say the same fucking thing I say every time. That is, no one understands her journey. But God forbid someone with that qualifications get asked the dumbest fucking questions in the world by supposedly the most deliberate body that exists. They're supposed to be this, collaborative, deliberative body that thinks through things. And that's why they're measured out for every 6 years. God, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is going on down there? We don't have any fucking good people in there asking good questions. And if you really want to know what this lady's about, you're not going to get it from the hearings. But you clicked on it anyway. You're posting memes. You're sending shit. In between the fact that you're bashing a female athlete who lived a life of difficulty that you have no idea, or even you can't even fathom. Your brain capacity can't even handle it. Trying to think about somebody not feeling good about themselves internally, sexually and everything else. You have no idea. So, again, this platform was created to say fuck you to all the folks that are out there punching down. And you're punching, we watched the Senate punch down on a female who has risen to the ranks of, with that Harvard background. She's an esteemed colleague for a lot of lawyers and attorneys. She has an ABA rating of excellent, all this stuff. And guess what? We're going to have a bunch of riffraff motherfucker pickpockets try to beat her down just because that's the theater. That's the kayfabe. That's the performance that we're doing right now. There is no need to cater to the American people's needs. It's to cater to the American people's eyes and the clicks and their impulses and get them riled up. Then we don't really have to serve them because, trust me, when someone's passionate about something, you get them riled up where they're passionately against something, you don't need to serve them anymore. All you got to do is trigger them by just throwing out that thing, and they'll lose their fucking minds. Do you ever stop and think, you know what? What the fuck am I? What do I stand for? I'm in therapy now. I talk about it. I got fucking issues. And by the way, I'm one of those people that I'm in therapy because I want to get better. I want to improve myself. So you can fucking knock it or not. But I go through therapy every now and then. And when I need it, I go to it. It's just like a fucking doctor, you fuck. It's not a big deal. But one of the things I'm learning is that people just don't give a fuck about other people. They don't. They really, truly don't. And so a lot of my issues that I deal with are this validation issue. Of course, I'm doing this, and of course, it's a train wreck waiting to happen. But the truth is that people don't care about other people. All they want to do is validate their own opinions. And you can say I'm doing the same thing on here, but what I'm telling you is, why do that at the expense of someone who doesn't have the same advantages as you do? It seems that's a mantra of the GOP. I kid you not. You watch those hearings and you're like, what the fuck is this? There's no longer secretive like racism. It's just like, hey, you know what? I mean, I'm surprised they didn't say nigger bitch fucking this, nigger bitch that. I'm not kidding. I haven't used the N word yet, but I mean, I've been waiting for it. Maybe that wasn't the fucking moment, and that's a fucking horrible word. But I mean, that's the kind of angst that I get when I watch this and I see this happen over and over and over. There's no concern. People do not understand something outside of themselves. You watch this shit, you watch Ted Cruz, you watch all these folks laying the groundwork for their fucking campaign in 2022, and that's about it. There's nothing else there's no other way they're serving us. And so, you know, as I got on tonight, I'm thinking like, I'm a fucking sage. I'm a fucking saint. I'm like a guru or a prophet, because every article that I was reading that led up to this said, you know, this is their playbook. This is the fear-based strategy they're doing. CRT is going to be tied to crazy. All this stuff I've been saying. And I'm not highly paid like some of these pundits. So tell me, if you don't fucking know, I'm going to be on I Told You So Mountain soon. I'm going to say, I fucking told you so. These motherfuckers are crazy. There's some racism there. They're trying to fucking basically plant the seed so that you get scared. And I kid you not, there will be people in my feed that say, you know what? We got to get rid of the Democrats because of CRT. They don't even fucking know the initials, like I said before. They say CRT. They don't even know what it is. They have no concept of it. But their leaders, their sheeple, their shepherds have told them to believe this thing. And since you don't have the time or capacity to stop and do some critical thinking, we can't have nice things. That's what it comes down to. We have so many fucking idiots in this country that won't look past themselves. We can't have nice things for everybody else. God forbid it's socialism as soon as you start sharing, right? That's what they teach in kindergarten. Don't share, because make that fucking kid earn it. He wants your fucking toy, make him fucking earn it. That's what they taught you in kindergarten, right? I wouldn't know because I didn't go to kindergarten, but I assume that's what they taught. I assume based on the way the world works, in the kindergarten they say, if there's a toy there and somebody else wants this toy, get it, don't share, make sure you fuck them up, step on their shoulders, step on their heel, whatever you got to do. And if they want it, they got to come get it. They got to fight for it because that's yours. You're a rugged individualist, right? Is that what they teach you in kindergarten? Or do they teach you to say, you know what? Believe everything everybody says. There's no thought process. If somebody tells you to do something, don't worry about it. Fuck stranger danger. Adult tells you to do something, do it, right? Is that what they teach you? Because that's what it seems like when I watch people that fall for this dumb shit. No sharing. It's socialism. Fuck that. You know, when it comes to race and everything else, it doesn't exist. I don't see color except when I need to, see color, when it's scary or make it scary. Fuck. I'm okay, I promise. But, you know, it's kind of tiring seeing the same shit. And, you know, I come from privilege. I'm in my therapist today. I'm talking to him about kind of my identity. We're talking about this and all my fucking trauma that I had and all this bullshit and how I'm not dealing with it correctly and all this stuff, right? And one of the things I thought about is like, you know, I'm kind of this person that has this white experience, that has this black experience. So when I'm watching these hearings, I'm like, yeah, I've been her. And I've been that person getting grilled or getting misunderstood because nobody wants to fucking ask the right questions, or people kind of assuming something else. Not at that level, of course, by the way. And I'm not suggesting that I've even done half of her struggle. But to watch it play out in real time and see the racism kind of just front and center, I mean, I'm fucking losing my mind again. I feel like I'm back in the Trump years where I'm like, you know, is anybody else fucking looking? Is there anybody? And you know what? What's weird at being an adult is there's nobody going to come and save us. There's no adult that's going to come in and say, hey, by the way, this is all a joke or this is a fucked up. There's nobody. It's us. And the us that I see are apathetic, not give a fucks, get pissed off when someone takes a shit on the flag, but not when someone's shitting on the curb for a living. That's the kind of fucking us I see. I'm full of emotion tonight. And so I had one of those days where I had to spend a lot of time internalizing shit because of my therapy and all this stuff. And I mentioned therapy quite a bit because I want you to know that it's not a big fucking deal going to therapy. And if it ever would kind of put me out of the running for some political thing or some other fucking thing, I'd be like, fuck you. I'll take my fucking mental health over your stupid fucking election or whatever the fuck you want to do. But the truth is, you get to, doing that helps me to understand myself. Understanding myself helps me to look outside of myself and kind of see what's going on and actually make analysis on it. I'm a better analyst when I can understand who I am and how I fit into this. And when I watch these hearings, I realize that even at the height of your career, you're still a black person. You're still a they. They're going to treat you like you're somebody else or from some other country or some shit. I mean, that's what it feels like. And you can say, you know what, Nate, you're too sensitive. Fuck you. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of hearing that. You're too sensitive. What are we going to do? I don't see my friends changing. I don't see my colleagues changing it. They work for racists. They hang out with racists. They kind of just say, oh, he's not so bad. I mean, my last fucking employer, for Christ's sake, can't even see that he has a fucking racist working there. No fucking cares. No concerns. Just Nate fucking bitching and trying to play the race card. God damn it, I'm not a fucking Supreme Court nominee because I guarantee you, no matter what I did, no matter how I did on my college LSATs or my grades, I'm going to have to go through the white fucking barricade that's going to test my fucking loyalty to white America. That's what it feels like. I grew up in privilege. I fucking have all the advantages that a white person could have, more or less. And yet I'm fucking black, and I can tell you right now, I don't have all the fucking advantages a white person has. Fucking nuts. Christ, I could fucking be president of the United States and they'd think I'm born in another country. Even after I show my birth certificate. That's how fucking black I am. So again, we're watching this being laid out. You're being played. You're being played. They're trying to tie this person who has a track record, who's esteemed by her colleagues. They're trying to paint her as some fucking radical anti-white person, which is enough to fucking scare you so that you get motivated so that you won't have another Biden judge. That's the fucking commercial. And I'm going to stand on I told you so mountain and say I fucking told you so as soon as it happens. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow at 10:30. I got nothing else to say. I'm not too keen on the things that are happening right now in how we can't get past this performance theater. We just can't get past it. And so that I'm going to continue to pound this because that performance theater is what's going to kind of make or break the midterms. And if there's anybody listening or anybody that maybe might go, you know what? Damn, Nate's always hammering this idea home. Maybe I'll take a second. Fucking wake the fuck up and do some critical thinking. And maybe I won't vote for a Democrat, but maybe I'll vote my guy out because he's a fuck. I don't know. That's the hope. Before I end, I just want to say I got a lot of things going on. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and it's kind of exciting. And you guys are fucking awesome. Again, I've got messages in my inbox talking about how they loved yesterday me standing outside of a bar doing my live. I want to do more of that. And then the lighting was kind of perfect, kind of looked cool. But I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. I'm kind of one of those people that, it takes me a while to get over the hump. You know this. You're following me. You're seeing me. You're seeing me elevate, but you're not seeing me elevate maybe at the speed that you want. But I can tell you, based off the feedback that I got yesterday, I'm going to be doing more lives on my iPad or on my iPhone, and I'm going to be doing it in that kind of lighting and that kind of setting, maybe outside a bar. I mean, this is fucking smashing the party, for Christ's sake. I've got this show is called Nightcap. My other show is called After Hours. So we got to fucking do that shit, right? It makes sense. It's on brand. And so everybody that sent me messages really kind of telling me in a positive way how much they appreciated that, I fucking love it. And I hear you, and I want to do more of it. So I'm gonna end on that note, but I always try to end on some gratitude. One thing I'll say too is the podcast that I was on the other night. He does this awesome thing, which I totally love. At the end of his podcast, he has this kind of pattern. He has a ritual, and he asks for positive affirmation. And so, I kind of struggled through it. But the point is that I need to come up with that sweet spot that every day I'm doing some little tidbit like that. Paul Harvey had the rest of the story that was dope. If you don't know, fucking Google it. If you're old enough to know, you fucking know. Paul Harvey, the rest of the story was dope, fat as shit. But I need to come up with something like that where I'm kind of doing some kind of little clicky anecdotal thing at the end that's catchy because, I want to get more more of in a cadence for when I do this instead of kind of always shooting from the hip. I love shooting from the hip, but again, I think a cadence is going to get me further down the road. So anyway, I just thought that was pretty cool. If you haven't checked out that podcast, check it out. Breaking Walls Only, Beating Walls Only, and it's Joe Arment. He basically is a stand-up comedian local to Lancaster area. The son-in-law of one of my friends I graduated, which is fucking bizarre, but he's killing it. He's doing great. It might not be your cup of tea, but I would definitely tell you to listen to the interview that I was on, and even all of them, because again, he goes back and forth on it through conspiracy theories a lot, but he's super funny. He's super cool. He's super chill, and I love to see the grind. He's like 26-year-old, so I mean, he's got the world in front of him. He's definitely going to be successful looking at his work ethic. So I would strongly encourage you to check that podcast out. You can find it on all the podcast platforms. I'm not a podcaster, so good luck. But I posted a link earlier. But again, thanks to Joe, thanks to Mike Parado who hooked me up with him. Thank you to everybody who continues, kind of to throw me a bone on the days that I have that are good and on the days that I have that are bad. I really, truly believe that if it weren't for people like you, I would have quit a long time ago. I mean, I am lost in my head constantly. I'm in therapy for a reason because I'm constantly kind of beating myself up all the time because I don't ever think I'm good enough, which is a fucked up shit happened, but it definitely comes from my childhood and my upbringing. Sorry, Mom. That's just the facts. But anyway, so, as I work through this stuff, you guys are always encouraging me and supporting me, and I love it. I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you. So before I end, I just want to let you guys know, check me out on smashingtheparty.com/links. Read my blogs. Give them a read. They're short reads. I don't have the attention span to write fucking some 10,000 page article, okay? So 10,000 words. They're all of them are under 1,000, I believe, and they take you no more than a minute or two to read. But they're my personal thoughts, and it helps you understand where we're going and kind of the vision that I have and kind of where my values and morals are. You can get that from not only this, but also from the blog posts that I make. So check that out. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate all the love. You guys are fantastic. My engagement's really good. You guys are kind of commenting and telling me I suck often enough. Like I said, if I had 1 million people that told me I'd suck, that'd be dope. But I'm going to wrap. We'll see you guys back tomorrow at 10:30. And then we'll kind of wrap it up for the week, and then we'll take our 3-day break, and we'll fire it up on Monday. So thank you. Enjoy your weekend. You're not weekend yet. Enjoy your evening. Make sure you come back tomorrow night at 10:30. And if you haven't shared or liked it or just said fuck you to me, please message me, DM me, comment, fuck you, whatever you want to do. I'd appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And we'll be hot and spicy tomorrow too. Peace.